Yes, it happened. The Springboks was convincingly beaten this year. So previous years, I feel, Springboks, like I'd say the last 2 years, Springboks have been able to give, the All Blacks a good go, and the games is at a nice edge, which way it'll go. But I must say, today's game, I just felt like, the All Blacks dominated the first 20. The Springboks maybe came back for the third quarter of the game. That makes sense. They came back into it, but not enough, and the All Blacks took it away. So well done to the All Blacks. Me as a Springbok supporter, have to say well done to the All Blacks. But let's react to the game, and let's see what happened.
And the test match is underway as Willemse kicks off and Talia lines it up. And the All Blacks will run it inside their 22. Referee's got the arm out. Offside against the Springboks. Here's Frizzell. What a start he's had. Smith again.
At this point, it still looks pretty even.
Still playing under this penalty advantage.
And
Smith again. Now Scott Barrett. All Blacks are...
but I mean, from early in the game, you could see the Springboks missing a lot of tackles, and just the All Blacks being so aggressive on the cleanouts. Oh, skip pass. Jordan falls. He's back on his feet. Oh, what class is Jordan? 4 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, and he scores a blinder of a try. That teaches you, when you tackle someone, don't just, say he's tackled. Because if you're not going to keep him down, they can stand back up. I mean, that's exactly what happened here. But I think the true vision there from the All Blacks was getting it out wide. And I mean, there again, you can see all the little kicks out wide. They're figuring out the Springboks blitz defense. So you see that rush defense creates the overlaps. Like again, like that is what they want to try and do. So they do the cross kicks to try and expose that rush defense from the Springboks. Look there. Oh, I mean, what the All Blacks seem to have been doing so well in this game is they played such a good kicking game. The little chips in at the back, putting the Springboks in the back foot all the time. Oh man, look at Frizzell. What a try. Let me tell you, this guy is going to be something special. He's just looked amazing in this game and powerful all over the ball, and played a mammoth game. It's like they say, everyone's in shock. Trust me, as a Springbok supporter, we were in shock watching the game. The little kicks everywhere, putting the Springboks on the back foot all the time. Only 50 minutes in now. It's 23. 3 points for the Springboks only on the board at this point. They struggled in the first half. And then the Springboks only get the rolling maul going. And we know they're powerful there. And they pull it off again, like always. They managed to pull off with one of their strengths. What I don't understand is that the Springboks didn't want to try and, play more of this type of game. They seem to be kicking to the post when they were like 20 points behind or 15 points behind, which is pointless. Why did they not just try and, kick for the corners, play the line-outs, play to your strengths? When it came to the scrums, and was just as good in the scrums. So, yeah, I'm speechless. I can't even speak properly. Oof. And that was a beautiful try again. I mean, the vision there by Willie to send it out wide was very, very clever. And you don't stop Chesy from there. But this was the turning point, The Springboks still had a shot. They were 8 out. But they still had a shot. And then this happened. playing it back, coming around.
Away for Retallick.
And Springboks were still defending pretty well here.
Christie. Lala on the charge. Oh, offside call. All Blacks have a penalty advantage.
So they had the advantage at this point.
A bit of ground. Now Christie. Change of direction.
Oh, and that, I mean, that was almost too easy. And, you know, this is Bowden Barrett totally exposed the Springboks in that sense again. You know, heads up to Ian Foster and the coaching team for those little kicks, because those little chips across the field really, you know, the Springboks with the blitz rush defense where they're always up, not really fielding that, and this was ridiculous. That's just a giveaway try. Poor defense. And you'd see there Ashwin Willemse missing, Damian Willemse missing that tackle. And I'm sorry, Damian Willemse had a very poor game. And I was concerned about Damian Willemse at 10. As I feel Manie Libbok is the, you know, informed guy. But how good by the All Blacks here? We'll have a little bit more of a chat now as we're done with the highlights. But how good. And Quagga steals that ball away and gets that consolation try for the Springboks. A lot of fighting unnecessary because it wouldn't change the result. Quagga never gives up. And this is the end of the game. And convincing win by the All Blacks. So well done to the All Blacks. If I have to talk about the Springbok side, they were very quiet. I didn't see anyone really stand out because they were suffocated of ball. I felt Damian Willemse at number 10. He's a utility back. He's great to come on second half. He's great to even play fullback. He can even slot in the center position. But I do not like the guy at 10. And again, that also meant we didn't have the Springboks didn't have a place kicker, which meant now again we had Faf de Klerk and Cheslin Colby and everyone kicking to the goals. I mean, you gotta, you know, a good fly off that played brilliantly last week against the Wallabies. Why did they not just play Manie Libbok? You know, I just feel from a Springbok supporter's point of view, I don't think it will take long for the Springbok supporters this year to start saying, listen, guys, enough of the experimenting. You know, it's the year of the World Cup. The Springbok coaching team has got to start realizing the experiment has got to end. I know they've played the two teams, and I don't think that's a bad thing to create the depth. But they need to say, with the big game, so the next one where the All Blacks will be facing the Springboks in Twickenham, make sure you field your very best team for that. And what I mean with that is, like, we know Manie Libbok is better than Damian Willemse. He missed tackles today. He didn't play a very good attacking type game. When he had the ball, he couldn't put the Springboks into good positions, attacking positions. He was just not great. He's definitely not a Manie Libbok. And what I also don't like about Willemse is he can't spread the ball like Manie Libbok. What Manie Libbok did so well, and maybe people don't give him enough recognition, the game against the Wallabies, he would get that ball spread out quickly. It's almost similar to what you'd see from Mohanga or Quade Cooper, where they get those skip passes out and get the ball wide quickly. A few selection things, you know, Malcolm Marx coming up as an impact player, probably one of the best hookers in the world. And they play him an impact player. Why not play the guy from the start? He always makes an impact. But let him play from the start rather, and bring in Bongi and Bonambi as the impact player. Generally, the game was shocking. They missed their own lineouts. They were just a little bit passive. They weren't totally there. I felt there was something missing. And it's because they were suffocated off ball. And that's exactly what they did to the Wallabies. The All Blacks did so well, and it almost feel like the All Blacks have figured out the Springboks game. And what I didn't understand is they kept trying to run the ball against the All Blacks instead of saying, why not then default back to what you know best? What do they know best is the up and unders. You know, it's almost like the All Blacks turned the game around against South Africa and played their type game. Played the up and unders, and South Africa was terrible today under the up and unders. And that's usually what the Springboks would do to the All Blacks in the last 2 years or so. Doesn't mean it always works and they won the games, but they would put those high up and unders and put the Springboks under pressure. It's almost like, for me, with this coaching staff of Rassie and Ninabe, it's either one or the other. It's either, oh, we're playing running rugby now all the time, or, we play the kicking game. Why not vary it? If you see your running game's not working, which clearly was the case today, then why not go to your kicking game? Play those up and unders, put them under pressure. I felt they didn't do enough of that. I think they lacked Andre Pollard there. Anyway, coming back to the All Blacks, before I close this off, All Blacks, well done. I mean, the aggression, and the clean-outs, they were cleaning the Springboks out. It's like they came to fight fire with fire. They were cleaning out the Springboks, playing them up front, being physical like the Springboks are, and totally really neutralized the Springboks, the aggression, everything. It was not quite the same kind of like aggression that you'd feel you get from the Springboks. There was something missing, and it's almost like they were totally stunned in that first 20 minutes by the All Blacks. Just the clean-outs was so quick, that there was just no opportunities for the Springboks to steal balls like they usually do, the jackals. They couldn't do any jackals, and that even is something that you don't often see from the Springboks. They usually get those jackals in. They couldn't get it. That's how quickly the All Blacks was cleaning out. And in the back line, totally dangerous. It felt to me like the Springboks left the likes of a Will Jordan with much too much space. Will Jordan is so dangerous. He's like a Cheslin Colby right now. You can't leave that guy with a lot of space. And then the likes of a Fazell and Savia and everyone, they were just all over that ball. Great commitment, and these guys deserved the win today. So really well done to the All Blacks. Where do the Springboks go from here, in my opinion? Number one, start figuring out what is your starting type team. Start putting those guys together to play some more. Let them play against Argentina, your best team. Get the right guys in the right positions. Stop experimenting and just get the right guys in the right positions, and get the rest of the reserves in where you want to start experimenting. Do that on second halves. But let's get some kind of team together from the Springboks that you're going to say, this is your A side. And then apart from that, I would say, get some variation in a plan A and a plan B and a plan C if something's not working. Clearly, today it wasn't working against the All Blacks, what the Springboks was doing. They were trying to run the ball the same as what they did against the Wallabies, and it didn't really work. They gave a few box kicks and they tried a few things. They weren't playing your normal Pollard kicking it into the corners, trying to push them back into the corners, and then trying to work from the set pieces. Not enough set pieces. Springboks have to play to their strengths. It always starts with their set pieces. It always starts up front. They didn't give themselves opportunity. Willemse didn't play that type of game. He tried to run the ball all the time. That wouldn't work. We needed someone with some strategy kicking to try and get it into the corners, Strategical kicking, to get it into the corners. Because when you get that strategical kicks into the corners, that's when, you put that line out under, pressure, and that scrum under pressure. But none of that today. Springboks didn't play to their strengths. And then where's the plan B? Springboks have always been good on the up and under type game. It seems like now they've totally not been practicing it anymore. Everyone's forgotten how to do it. Everyone's terrible under the up and under. And it's like, okay, so clearly they're not training this anymore, and it's just now no longer an option. You cannot go run every team. Sometimes running type rugby is going to pull off for you, like it did with the Wallabies. It didn't work. It didn't work with the All Blacks. In the running type style game that you want to play with the All Blacks, they're just too good at it. They are better than South Africa at the running type game. You need to slow the ball down. You got to play a tight, set piece type game. Slow it down, get the balls into the back, chase the All Blacks into their own territory, back and back, until you can get that ball. you can steal one of those lineouts or something and then put them under pressure. Build up scoreboard pressure. That's how the Springboks beat the All Blacks. I think if better decisions gets made, the Springboks will have a shot again. Anyway, guys, if you liked all my commentary, hit the subscribe button. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.